All right, so what we're going to do today is called synthetic division. So this is going to be 5.7 synthetic division. And really, if you can add and multiply, you can do synthetic division. So there's not a whole lot of complicated trying to figure things out. There is another type of division, that's long division, that we're not going to worry about. So we're only going to do this one method. I think you're going to absolutely love it. Hope so. So whenever we're doing synthetic division, it's a whole lot of setup. And so the first thing you're going to do to set it up is just draw this little box. All right, and then inside that box is going to be the opposite of whatever this is. So look at the board, please. Because of the +8 in the box, you're going to put -8. It's going to be the opposite. All right, then to the right of the box, you're going to put the coefficients and the constant of what's in front of the division sign. So this x squared doesn't have a number. So what is that number? It's 1. So this is going to be 1, 3, -43. All right, what you're going to do now is leave some space and then draw a line. And then this first number is going to come under the line, so that's going to be a 1. All right. Then after that, it's just multiply and add. Like the whole thing is just multiply and add. So you're going to multiply the number that's in the box by the number that's under the line. So -8 times 1 is going to be -8, and it's going to go here. And then you're going to add 3 plus -8 is going to be -5. All right, then you're going to multiply. -8 times -5 is 40. It goes under the next number. And then you're going to add, and you're going to get -3. Right? And then after that, you're going to assign these numbers to the answer. Right? So because this original problem is x squared, this first term is going to be 1 less than x squared. So that's going to be 1x to the first power. Right? The next one will just be -5. And then this last number, I always kind of separate it with a line because it's the remainder. And you guys probably remember dividing, like whenever you learn how to divide 6th grade or whatever, sometimes you have a remainder. So what we do with the remainder with polynomials is put it over whatever you divided by. So it's going to be over x plus 8. All right. So this time, watch me do it. Don't look at your phone. Watch me do it. And then see if you have any questions after it. Mm-hmm. This is the whole answer. That's what you get when you divide those two. All right, so let's look at the next one. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to divide that first one by n minus 7. And so inside the box is going to be the opposite. So because that's a -7, we're going to put a +7. All right, then we're going to bring over all of our coefficients and our constant here. So 2, negative 16, 19. Don't ever put X's or N's or anything over there. Then you're going to skip some space and draw a line. All right, we're going to bring that first number down. And then from there, it's just multiply and add, multiply and add. So we're going to multiply the number in the box by the number under the line, and we're going to get 14. And you write it here. And then you're going to add. You'll get negative 2. And then you're going to multiply. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. And then you're going to add, and you're going to get 5. Okay, so then we're going to assign these numbers to n's. And so we started with n squared. So this first one is going to be 1 less. So it's going to be 2n to the first, which we don't need to write, minus 2, and then plus your remainder over this whole thing that you are dividing by, which is n minus 7. All right, that's how you do synthetic division. Okay, so as we do this, our problems are going to start getting bigger, but the steps are exactly the same. All right, so let's look at number 3. What's going to go in the box? Yes. So since we're dividing by y minus 2, we do the opposite. All right, and then we're going to bring over all of these coefficients and this 2. So 1, 5, negative 7, 2. Now be careful. Take your time on these because it's easy to like miss a negative. So you don't need to rush. All right, so that 1 drops down under the line, and then we just start multiplying and adding. So we multiply 2 times 1, and then we add, and then we multiply 2 times 7, and then we add, and then we multiply again, and then we add. All right. So this one's going to be a little bit different because we started with y cubed. So remember that the first term here is going to just be 1 less than the cube. So what do you think? 1 less than 3? Second power. So this is going to be y squared or 1y squared. And then that power is just going to go down each time. All right, so then it'll be plus 7y. And then plus 7. And then we add our remainder over. It's called the divisor, but it's what's after the division symbol. That's it. That's synthetic division. All right, we're going to try one more together, and then there is something we have to watch out for. So if you're working ahead, you might hold off on 5 and 6 if you're working ahead, because I need to talk to you about those. All right, so what goes in the box? Good, negative 4. All right, you guys go ahead and write down the numbers you think go to the right of the box. There's absolutely no reason why you can't be paying attention and learning this. You can do the same with all of yours. All right, so double check your numbers with mine. Just those negatives sometimes will sneak up on you and you'll kind of miss them. Okay, So this first number drops down, and then we just start multiplying and adding. So it's negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. And then we add, and we're going to get 5. And then we're going to multiply. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. And then we're going to add and get negative 7. And then we multiply. Negative 4 times negative 7 is 28. And then we're going to add and get negative 5. And then, is that right? Yes. Then we're going to multiply. Negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. And then we're going to add and get 4. Okay. Then we're going to apply the c's to this one. So the original was c to the 4th. So this one needs to be c to the 3rd. And then the power is just going to go down each time. So then plus c to the 2nd, 5c to the 2nd, sorry, minus 7c minus 5, and then plus the remainder over what you are dividing by. And that's the answer. Okay. So synthetic division is like a trick to divide easier than doing long division. So it's important that you set it up right. And so what I always kind of do in my head, like if this is c to the 4th, there has to be 5 numbers on the other side of the box. So one more than the power every time. So then if this is y to the 3rd, there has to be 4 numbers over there. So anytime that a term is skipped, you have to fill in a 0 for what was skipped. And if you don't fill in that 0, you're just going to be doing the wrong problem. You're like, if we don't fill in a 0 on this one, we're doing k squared minus 17k plus 32 instead of k to the 3rd. So this one, it doesn't have a k squared. So what we're going to have to do is fill in 0, k squared. All right. So what I would do, like every time I go to do these problems, I'm going to ask myself, do I need to fill in any zeros? Like, was any term skipped? And this one didn't have a k squared, so we have to fill in a 0. All right, what's going to go in the box? Negative 5, good. All right, so 1 for k cubed, 0 for k squared. And then we have our negative 17 and our 32. So we have to fill in a 0, and we have to put it in the right place, in the right order. Okay. All right, and then this one started off with k cubed. So this has to be 1k squared minus 5k plus 8 minus 8 over k plus 5. All right, so we're going to do one more. So on number 6, do I need to fill in any zeros?
Yes.
Yes, good. So this one is also missing, well, it's missing x squared. So we'll put in a 0 where x squared would be. This one works out kind of weird. All right, so we put 8 in the box because it's the opposite. All right, so we bring down that 8, and then we start multiplying. 8 times 8 is 64. And when we add, we get 0. And then 8 times 0 is 0. And we add and we get 0 again. Then 8 times 0 is 0. And we add and we get 3. And then 8 times 3 is 24. Now, synthetic division goes really fast when you have zeros because it's super easy to multiply by 0 in your head. Okay, so our answer should be 8x to what power? Third. All right, and then this 0 means we're not going to have any x squared, so we don't have to write 0x squared. We can just skip it. And then this would be 0x, so we don't have to write. And then that would just be plus 3. So no x squareds, no x's, and then that would just be 3, and then 4 is your remainder. So like I said, this one turns out kind of weird. All right, what questions do you guys have on synthetic division? All right, well, I went ahead and put the answers to your homework on the board so you guys can check them as you go. Obviously, you have to show your work. If you just write the answers down, I'll just give you your paper back. This is not something you can do in your head.